knowing Darby as is sort of that plucky underdog who will never stay down. It'll be hard for me to see him not come back and defend the belt. But man, that finish certainly would allow for that to happen, wouldn't it? I mean, that finish of that street fight could easily allow Darby some time off screen.
It could, and I don't know if he's the type of person to do that, because Darby Allin is so resilient and so willing to risk anything for the business and himself, and clearly he's been punished so much, and it's hard to watch sometimes, because I've said it over and over that he's, gets ragdolled. He's a crash test dummy, and then he throws out these huge daredevil moves that we have not seen in AEW. He's such a high risk taker, and it makes it so fun to watch in that part, but can be dangerous at times. This street fight was done perfectly. I can't say enough good things about this. That I absolutely, I like to do my amateur videography and editing and stuff like this. Right away, I was hooked the first 60 seconds with the car, and then they go in the car and then out the car and then up, like that kind of splicing and editing and footage was pure genius. And I absolutely loved it. The intro, the build up to it, it was phenomenal. And the match was phenomenal. The lighting in it, the sound, the background, just the ambiance, everything about it, like visually, was perfect. It exceeded my expectations, like through the roof. And it was, well done. And, reading back that Darby said he had 90% involvement of this, which completely, we knew. I mean, he's a dropout film student, and all of his vignettes and promos have been so unique and so original and so spot on and so catchy. We knew this was gonna succeed that with a bigger probably budget, bigger platform, and a few more minds in that. And it was executed so well. I mean, Ricky Starks' his new ring tire with the Absolute on his back. He looked like $1 million. Brian Cage, absolute beast. There's no question who better than Brian Cage, because the guy, if you can walk a suplex, hold someone up the steps.
Oh my gosh!
I don't care if he's a third of your weight or whatever it is. The control and just doing that is just insane. He's so dang strong. And of course, we saw
every time I watch Brian Cage, I preach that every time I watch him, dude. It's not just that he's strong, it's that he's in control of his strength. There are a lot of people who have those bursts of strength that can be reckless. Dude, Cage is in such control of his power. Oh. It is humbling as a fan to watch him. Like, that dude is absolutely incredible.
Yes.
He came off looking, I mean, everybody in this match came off looking so good. Everybody. This was my favorite match of the night. I thought this was perfectly done. This is the gold standard for a thematic, match.
It would be very hard to match or top this going forward. Even if it doesn't involve Darby Allin, I think Darby would be a great producer, someone to be involved, some eyes on this, because it was just so great. The seesaw throw through this window was insane. I mean, the glass breaking is one thing, but then the wood hit him on the head. Did you notice that? It was great.
Yes.
I couldn't believe that, but I love the way this panned out, and how Darby threw him the bat from up above, grabbed it, and then he went on a wrecking crew and broke the bat, I believe, over Cage's back. The finish of this is perfect. Sting getting the finish in the ring. I can't say enough good things about this. This is like a horror movie, suspense movie.
Yeah, it felt like a movie. It felt like a movie. It felt like I was watching Batman, like at points. Like I felt like you talked about with Darby, Robin tossing Batman the bat. Like there were moments when I felt like I'm watching a movie, and the way that the match flowed, all of them, like, it was just such a beautiful way of telling the story, with like Cage exerting his dominance and sort of being that, like, we see superhero movies all the time, being that big villain that you have, like the team, they have to work on to slowly chip away at him and beat him up and slowly eliminate, and then taking that huge dive, that elbow drop through the multiple stories
Yeah.
to take him out. It felt like this was so beautifully executed, where the story was purposeful. The characters built up along the way. Starks played that perfect foil to Sting to allow Sting to really look like $1,000,000, and that's a testimony to Starks and what a pro he is. And that just even the involvement of Team Taz. We just talked like we were wondering if they would get involved and things like that.
Of course,
Just absolutely loved all of it. I thought that this was to me, again, I thought this was the match of the night. All 4 competitors looked absolutely incredible in this. The storytelling, this is the type of match, like this is something that I hope, again, like fans appreciate this, because you don't get to see. I mean, we were worried about so many different things, the way this could have played out. Was Sting going to be able to look good, and he takes some of those physical moves, and how are they going to keep Team Taz looking strong in this, and all of it, dude. Walking away from this match, I was so happy as a fan. I just thought it was perfectly done. Darby's creativity as a producer of this, a director,
unbelievable,
off the charts, man.
Completely off the charts, and that is why Darby Allin is my top performer of the night. Not only for what he did in the match itself, but just for the execution of the match. A street fight, a cinematography on it was outstanding. This type of match is not easy to pull off. Granted, you can do takes and stuff, and it's not necessarily live, but it can be a huge hit or a huge miss, and this was a huge hit and then some. I think it exceeded everyone's expectations. We want to rewatch this for sure, and he was my top performer, risking that huge bump. Just his creepy, eerie riding in on a skateboard on the back of the truck. And he took a lot of violence too, and he dished it out at the end, and ultimately, him and Sting prevailed. And so that is my top performer, is Darby Allin.
I don't